Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of the Fundamental Escape podcast. I have a returning guest, Bearing Bear. How you doing?
Yo. Hang on. I don't know what that was. I was just trying to say cool.
No editing. We'll just leave it in.
Maybe take out one yo.
No.
Maybe.
How's it going? It's been a while, as I say, since we last. When did we record?
It's been. I'm good. I'm busy as always. It's same old though. Same old. But,
you've had some dramas since we last talked. What do you want to recap some of those?
Mate, my fucking life is a fucking drama. Which one are you talking about?
Well, your channel got suspended for a little while. That was.
I want to talk about that one. Yeah.
Oh,
So that was.
That
was. It was sort of. It was a bit of a hard hitting one, obviously. Like it got a lot of publicity and all that, but I don't think it was as perilous as people were thinking. Like I was in pretty constant communication with the people who issued the copyright strikes from the get-go. And they were really reasonable. So I never had any doubt I was gonna get it all back on track. But look, it was a silly mistake that when you start a YouTube channel, you sort of don't think about these things like put yourself in my shoes. I started it one Friday night when I was half pissed, and I fucking wrote Brown Bear into Google and downloaded the first one that I saw. So and then from there, it's with the rate that I sort of grew at, the time between 0 subscribers and fucking 250,000 subscribers really wasn't that. It was under a year, so you sort of it all catches up with you.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I think you hit about 50k when we first recorded. It was like pretty early days. I spotted you pretty early. I have a habit of doing that. I did the same with Milo. Actually, I got to talk to him just before he broke the internet, basically.
Yeah, he's been doing well, hasn't he?
Oh man, it's insane. It's like, it's just funny to watch from the sidelines. But
he's like a fucking rock star. That guy. Like he gets fucking. People fucking going nuts.
It's funny, man. Like when I was thinking of the other day, like because there was a friend of mine who like sent me some of his clips on YouTube and stuff, and I was like clearly enamored. I was like, holy crap, who is this guy? Like, and why does he get to talk to people like this? It was just nuts. I was like, I kind of sensed something was happening. I was like, this is something different, and it's pretty crazy to see everything sort of pan out. But so I saw your latest video today, which was pretty interesting to talk about. It's funny. Well, just going back to your channel thing for a second, it's funny with the whole like confirmation bias that we tend to have. Because as soon as I saw your channel go down, I was like, "Oh, free speech!" Like you just automatically think like. It's just funny how you're sort of primed to like just go, they're trying to shut us down and blah blah. And I was like, nah, let's just wait for the facts,
Yeah, that's right. It's we tend to do that. People, we jump to conclusions, but I mean, when you think about it, like it's really not hard to wait a day or two till the facts come out. Sort of thing. I often try to do that because you can make yourself look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If you jump the gun.
But yeah, diving into this whole thing of late, like with the guy Richard Spencer. Have you did say in the video you haven't looked much up about him, have you? I was curious.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I purposefully did that because, to be quite frank with you, it doesn't matter who it is.
I know. It took me a while to get that. I started making a comment on your video. I was just like, maybe it would have helped if you did.
You fuck with you.
Well, no. It sort of annoyed me. I was like, what? I was like, I can't remember exactly what I was going to say, but I was like, why don't you wouldn't have helped to know who he was? Basically, Richard Spencer is essentially, he gets labelled a white nationalist. He's essentially arguing this idea that races should basically stick to themselves. That's pretty much his shtick.
I had an idea of that. Like I had a general idea.
But I agree with you. It's irrelevant.
I didn't look up his history on purpose. So I thought that was an asset to take into that video because. Like what good is having bias for a bloke? It doesn't change what civil rights that he had. So the more I'm bitter about someone, the less balanced I'm going to be in assessing what's going on.
Well, this sort of reminds me, we talked, when we last talked, we brought up the whole Bill Cosby thing, and your attitude was pretty much the same, where you're just like, who cares if he's guilty or not? Like, he still deserves, like...
Exactly right. We have a set of rights, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you've done, you are entitled to those rights. Now, if within the bounds of respecting those rights, you're found guilty and sent to jail forever, fucking good, you deserve it. but you can't just take someone's fucking due process away. You can't take someone's freedom of expression away. That's shocking. That's worse than one cunt being a Nazi, because that's that starts to corrode our very society.
But I just had this like epiphany yesterday. I was thinking about all this shit that's going on, and I was like, they're the ones calling everyone else Nazis, but yet they're the ones where like violence is actually emerging and coming out. Yeah, and I'm going, the moment, like, it's so much cognitive dissonance, because the moment you the Nazis referred to the Jews as rats, so they dehumanized them, which is exactly what they're doing to these people they're calling Nazis. They're just, and you saw it in that video. I mean, it was shocking, but to see those responses from guys like Steve Shives and all that. But at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. Like, it makes...
It didn't surprise me either. But,
it's shocking to see it, but it makes sense. It did a little bit from the likes of Christiosity and perhaps Christy Winters. I didn't think the girls would be like that, but it was just fucking... It was just ugly, So, and speaking of dehumanising people, I actually saw a tweet yesterday. I can't remember who wrote it. Oh, I think it was that H Bomber guy, fuckhead. He or whoever it was had written, not talking about punching people. Punching Nazis is a different thing. It's like, you fucking wanker. Well, this is the idea. I think it was something that Milo had said in passing, which is this idea that the left, they want to equate words with violence.
That's right.
So that, and that's making total sense now when you see it. They're going, they see, words they disagree with on the same level as violence, which is why they feel totally justified to fight back with violence.
And you know what the major danger with that is, and it could possibly bite them in the ass, is that if they want to redefine or if they want to classify words on the same level of violence, then there's gonna come a day where one of them can say, hey, Baring, you're a bully, you're a fuckhead, fuck off, cunt, and I'll just smash him in the face. I'm responding in kind. You were violent to me first. I'm just defending myself.
Yeah. I think for our side of things, it's probably best if we don't take that approach. But
yeah, no shit. That's just I probably shouldn't have said Baring. Probably should have said no.
You're exposing your dark heart.
Yeah.
But it's nuts, man, and I wonder where it's gonna go from here. I don't imagine it getting better before it gets worse, to be honest.
Well, that's an interesting thought. I mean, it really did throw a spanner in the works. This Trump getting in, didn't it? Because it was
oh my God.
It was sort of going in one direction, and it was SJW paradise, and Hillary was going to fucking keep it going, and now that's all changed, but. I kind of half expected or maybe hoped that they would sort of, be defeated quicker than this. But but Trump sort of gaining power has pretty much made them just come out and be even. Well,
it's solidified their fears. I mean, he's become the personification of evil, and that's what's most terrifying. Like, the moment you put evil into somebody else, like, and again, this is where they can just further justify their violence for the sake of the cause, where they can go, he's the devil, he's Hitler, like, it's
What
terrifying.
did you think of the Women's March?
I made a whole bunch of memes, actually, of the signs. Yeah, I should send them through to you. I was just trolling all day on Twitter. It was amazing.
It was pretty point. I saw a fucking amazing... someone had tweeted a picture that just sort of had text on it, and it was all about all this is a heap of fucking feminist fuckheads that have bought tickets to the Hillary inauguration and didn't want to waste their tickets.
Yeah, I think so, and funded by George Soros as well, I think.
What's that?
Well, I think there's people funded, like, there's paid protesters, eh?
Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah, George Soros is funding. It's pretty common knowledge. There's about 50 different like independent organizations, And yeah, it's all it's
what for? What's it going to do? What's it going to achieve?
Well, it's corporate, man. It's like it's a huge resistance because Trump has posed a huge threat to globalization, which was, it's what these elites want is, take down. They don't want a border wall, between Mexico and America. They want to bring it in, and they want the cheap labor, and there's all kinds of reasons. I think there's economic reasons for the resistance more than anything. I think most things come down to money.
I mean on a more fundamental level, like protesting isn't going to knock him out of power.
I think these protesters are just mindless zombies. They're just pawns. They're not even thinking. Like, it's just mind-numbing at this point. Like, they don't even know why they're there. Like, I saw some.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's actually you actually see interviews of people going up and saying, what's your beef? They just can't answer.
Yeah, and again, you see the left kind of eating themselves as well, where there was a group of, they identify as feminists, but they're pro-life, and so they're against abortion, and they were kicked out of the march. Like, they weren't welcome at the march. And
they were kicked out of the march, really?
I don't know if they were kicked out, or they were just told that they weren't even welcome, full stop.
Just based on the fact that they're pro-life.
Yeah, because these motherfuckers just want to kill babies.
Because we need feminism to make strong, independent women who are capable of fucking, making their own choices.
It's pretty out of it, eh? And then there was the whole, like, Black Lives Matter thing got in amongst it as well, where they're going, oh, this is just white women only marching kind of thing, and too many white people. That's another thing. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't seen you do any videos as such on it, but this, like, uprise of, like, anti-white rhetoric is just getting insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're supposed to just feel ashamed because we're white.
I haven't done a video on that specifically, but it has sort of come up in a few different videos. But yeah, it's fucking mental, isn't it? It is absolutely mental.
Yeah. I saw, because you're friends with the guy, is it Andy Warski, the guy in Canada?
Yeah.
He's done those trolling videos against the Francesca Ramsey. I love watching that saga. They did did you see the music video they made?
I didn't. Was that just recent?
Yeah, they made this full-on music video. It's incredible.
I've got to see that. No, I haven't seen it.
And she responded to it as well. It was so funny. But that's the other...
Have you seen a fucking... There's apparently a video... Someone was telling me about a recent video about a lady going spastic over some chicken nuggets or something. Have you heard about that?
Oh. I think I might have seen it. There's a few videos... Yeah, I don't know.
There was one recently where a bloke, I think a 14-year-old bloke, held a gun to a chick's head demanding a nugget.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. And she just knocked the gun out of his hand.
Yeah, I think so.
And then everyone's like, why would you risk your life over nuggets?
Yeah.
But it's pretty crazy. I'm just like, what's going to happen next? It's pretty insane.
Well, anything.
Yeah, but it's like... I don't know. On the one hand, I would assume you heard about that. There was a guy shot at one of Milo's events just recently.
I did hear about that. Yeah. So did that end up being was that a feminist or a Milo?
Well, they tried to see. I'm quite dubious of it. I don't know what the situation was. They've come out in the news and they've said, and it could be well true. I'm not denying it's not possible, but they're saying that the guy with the gun was actually a Trump supporter, and that he was doing, he handed himself in, and he said it was self-defense and blah. But these guys, and that's the other thing as well. These people are turning up now at these protests with masks on and things like that. And
so hang on, a Trump supporter shot a Milo supporter?
No, he shot. It was just someone. Oh, I'd have to pull up the article. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It was just. I don't know if it was a Milo supporter that got shot. It was just someone in the mix of it. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But he got shot in the stomach. He's okay. They didn't know, but it was incredible. There's a clip on Milo's channel where he someone yells out in the crowd. They're like, "Someone got shot," and he's like, "Oh, what?" And then so he goes out the back because they had police and military on site and stuff because that's the world we live in now. And so he confirms the story and he comes out and he goes, "Oh, look, someone, it's true, someone has been shot. We don't know if it's fatal." And he goes, but here's what I think. He goes, I think we should carry on because if we...
I saw that.
I found that incredible. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, he goes, if we shut down now, we're telling them, we're basically sending them a message that they've won and that they can conquer us with violence. And it was incredible too, because he gave the crowd a chance to respond. He goes, if anyone disagrees, speak out now. And nobody had any objections at all. And I was like, but he's right. And that's the thing. And it's, and again, like he talks about things like humor and, just laughing at these people and stuff. And I was like, man, I think we totally need to just keep our wits about us. And as infuriating as it is to see some of these responses, like, we just have to be smart about it, I think, and just keep laughing at them. And right. Because these people are insatiable and they can't handle a joke. They can't, they take themselves so seriously. They're so sincere in their beliefs.
Well, I think it's the difference between, like, a lot of people who can't handle jokes are like I've recently been in a scrap with this fucking idiot MGTOW guy, and he
you're not a MGTOW fan.
What's that?
You're not a MGTOW fan.
No, it's not that I'm not a MGTOW fan. It's just this one particular guy. He fucking made a video calling me a pedophile. No shit.
Wow.
Fucking wanker. Just out of the blue. I didn't even know him before that, right?
Yeah.
So I got in a scrap with him, and he, I think one of his mates on one of his videos was saying, so and so, this other MGTOW, laughs at fucking someone else's wife. He laughs at and makes jokes of getting someone else's wife pregnant. Well, what if her husband found out and went and shot himself in the head with a shotgun and committed suicide? Would it be fucking funny then? And I responded, I said, yeah, I'd fucking make jokes about that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
These people don't understand the difference between laughing at someone's misfortune, like as in, ha ha ha, I'm glad that you are suffering, and making a joke about something. They're completely different fucking things. The soldiers in the trenches in World War I weren't happy that their mates were dying around them, but they fucking joked about it because that's what kept them sane. Yeah.
Well, I was surprised. One thing I've noticed with you, because you don't tend to use grouping language at all, like, you don't tend to talk in the framework of, like, left and right. You seem to be...
No.
Like, you seem to be pretty consistent at just taking people at face value on an individual level, and I think that's really important. But
sort of right. And that's why you notice I've never been in every now and again a video will come out. It's like fucking 20 questions for SJWs, and it's a heap of people get together. I find them so ridiculous because it's like when the other side, the SJs and shit have done videos like that to say anti-feminists and shit. I sit there and I try to answer them, and half the questions are irrelevant. So this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think you did it with my response video where you kind of just skipped through all the shit that you can't be bothered with. He was like, what are you talking about?
That's a time thing, though.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, that makes total sense. Oh, it's fine. I was a bit manic when I was making those videos anyway, but I think I just woken up one morning and seen one of your videos, and thanks for that response video, by the way. I don't know if I did actually thank you for that.
That was a fun exchange.
Because I kept trying to talk to you privately about it, and you were just like, "No, you gotta wait." And I was like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, it was funny. Like, I saw even a tweet the other day from Sarah Silverman, who she's become like It's really funny with her. Because she was this big sort of free speech advocate, and she'd had these examples where she'd been reprimanded for certain jokes, and then she'd like doubled down and sort of given the middle finger. But now she's sort of said, "Oh, these college kids are right, and we need to listen to them, and they're on the right side of history."
I think she was on the Bill Maher show in it was like 2005 or something.
Yeah,
and she made that chink joke, like that.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
This fucking Asian SJW fucking takes it to task on. It's not funny. It's not funny. And she's like, "Fuck you." And even exits with a fucking Asian joke. That was fucking golden.
I think he said he goes pee in my Coke or something. I heard Gavin McInnes talk about it, but no, she tweeted out because someone was like taking her to task about her. She's made rape jokes, for example. Yeah. And she says, we need to joke about these things because when we can laugh at it, it's manageable. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, she's not unredeemable. I was like, there's hope. You know, I was like, even now, she's still kind of standing by that sort of stuff, which I thought was.
Oh, is she?
Quite,
That's
yeah,
good. I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
She's all the way gone.
Well, but that's interesting. I mean, that's one of the things I've been fascinated to talk about, even on a lot of these discussions with my podcast, because, you know, I mean, I've talked about, you know, where I've come from, being, you know, I grew up in that sort of religious bubble and everything like that, and I've made, you know, huge, like, my ideology's changed incredibly, and it's always fascinating to me just watching people go from one side to the other and how that happens, and you know, I was curious to ask, like, since, you know, when, you know, like, since you started your channel and like, since we last spoke, and now that you've grown the way you have, what, like, have you learned anything in your approach, or like, have you kind of, like, based on responses, and, you know, because I remember one of the things I remember you said to me was, I said to you something along the lines of, do you worry about the audience or what people think? And you sort of basically said, I think you used the phrase "balls to the wall," which stuck in my head. You know, do you still feel like that's your approach, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't. You know, if I've got a, if I think a certain way, I'm certainly not going to avoid stating, you know, an opinion or try to mould it or shape it somehow.
Yeah.
And look, I suppose I've just been lucky that, you know, my opinions generally do, you know, make the audience, you know, happy and make them laugh and that sort of thing. But no, I certainly don't. To use a word I think coined, or not coined, but regularly used by one of your fucking fuckhead countrymen. I don't pander to my audience. Do you know Mikey Rollins?
I've talked to him. I Skyped with him like once, and then I was like, yeah, that didn't work. I was, actually it's funny since you brought up these Kiwi frickin' oh man, they're representing us so well, eh? How many of them are there? Because there's Michael Rollins, there's that other guy, was it Garrett? I think I saw.
Garrett,
and then Tim. Are they the three main ones, or are there any others in New Zealand?
Yeah, they're the only three that I know. So.
Oh, okay. How did you come across? Like, did they just start responding to you, or what happened?
How was it?
I don't want to hash it all out because I think there's been so.
I think I'd originally found out about Christy Winters through Sargon, but I never responded to her.
Don't you mean Fisty Splinters?
Yeah, Fisty.
Get it right, Barry.
and then found Tim and Michael through them, and I think I first responded to Tim. Yeah. Yeah.
So these guys are pretty interesting characters, eh? Like oh man, I didn't know. Like I think I even said to you when we first spoke, I was curious to know what the landscape of feminism was here in New Zealand, and you know, you sort of, because you don't see it, and you just think, oh, it's not really an issue, but.
What's your population? It's only 6 million or something, isn't it?
No, not even that. It's only 4, I think, in New Zealand. It's like quarter of them are in Auckland, so.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So Auckland's got what, 1 million people or so?
I think so, yeah. But it's a big area, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was the first encounter you had with these guys? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I think it was a response video to Tim. I can't remember which video it was, but I'm pretty sure it all started with Tim, and then for some reason I just saw a comment saying Fisty Splinters had left a comment somewhere just saying that bearing is dumb, he's uneducated, you know. Has he ever read a book? And I just thought, no, that's fucking
yeah. It's just nuts, and it, like, I kind of commend you for the way you've tried to connect with these people. Like, I think I saw your latest live stream you did with Tim, like, recently, and it's just like, you can't. There's no nuance. Like, these people don't want a conversation; they just want to push their narrative. And it's like,
and they play dumb, and they fucking try to. They're so dishonest in the way that they deal with people. It's just so frustrating. It's so
weird because I was a big fan of, because Russell Brand has just started his YouTube channel again, The Trues. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to that.
Yeah,
that's sort of. I used to love that, but that's what me immediately.
But he's just pushing this narrative. Like, he did a video on the Women's March, and it was so ironic. Like, he was basically critiquing these two women on Fox News for their opinions about the Women's March, like, as a guy, which I thought was just incredible. And his whole argument was basically, this is bullshit because it's on Fox News. Like,
that's right,
there was this whole narrative. I was like, that's not an argument, dude.
I tell you who's going to fucking produce some gold, I reckon, in the next 6 months to a year. He's old Sean King at Young Turks.
That's incredible. I was winding someone up about him the other day on Facebook, actually.
Really?
There's a guy, I won't name his name, but he's a progressive. He works for like a Christian progressive, like a book publishing company, and I think he's had some interactions with Sean King, but he's a big fan, and he posted on Facebook. He goes, "Oh, what does everyone think about Sean King joining the Young Turks? You know, good or bad, kind of thing." and my response was, "Yeah, it'd be great to see some more white faces." And then I got this response from this lady who's like, "Sean King is a light-skinned, dark man, black man."
Fucking not.
And I was like, "He's
he refused
white."
That fucking, there was that insistence that he got the DNA test with.
Oh, he refused it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Why would you do that?
But exactly, but they take the moral high ground. It's like, I don't have to I don't have to justify this with facts,
Well, no, you don't. But you'll be called a fucking liar and mocked.
But he's still. It's funny though, even because I watch Gavin McInnes's show. He does like a Monday to Thursday show online, and he kind of talks favorably about Sean King, like in a funny way. He's just like, that guy's incredible. Like, he just gets slammed and he just keeps coming back. He's like, at this point, I've got to give this guy some credit, But then I posted on this feed, because Milo was the one that broke the story about Sean King.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I posted this clip of Milo debunking, this whole myth. And this lady's response was just, nope. And that just sums it up. And I didn't even bother to ask if she'd even seen it, because I doubt she even watched it, But these people, and then this guy starts private messaging me, just calling me out, and I was just like, dude.
What? So hang on. So he asked for an opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he say your opinion was wrong.
But it was the wrong opinion, is the point. It's just ridiculous, and I'm just like, you people, and that's one thing. Going back to the whole Women's March thing. It's nuts, because it's like they're going, love trumps hate, like, let's love people, and if you don't agree with our narrative and the way we describe love, then fuck off.
Yeah, and how's Madonna fucking, let's blow up the
She was getting investigated for that. Did you read that?
Is she really?
Yeah, she was legit getting investigated for a claim about wanting to blow up the White House. But I wonder, here's, just to maybe shift gears a little bit, I wonder what's going to happen now that Trump's in power, and people who have been on the fringes, the alt-right or whatever, now they're going to become sort of the mainstream, essentially. And I wonder, with all these, especially with what people like you do, and because I like guys like, I've watched Hunter Avallone as well. I know you've talked to him as well.
Yeah.
He's a pretty funny dude. He's so young. He's like 20 or something, isn't he? He's like a little kid.
Yeah, but he looks like he's about fucking 12.
But I sort of wonder if there needs to be anything of an evolution in what you guys are doing, in the sense that there's only so many ways you can call a feminist an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Do we need to get more creative here? Do you ever think about that kind of thing? Do you think it's going to dry up or become stale?
Well, I think, the way that I make videos has changed dramatically. I mean, when we last spoke, and probably up until a few months after that, the strategy was look for feminist video, search out feminist video that's pwnable and do your work. But I haven't done that for fucking ages. I really haven't. I now talk about whatever is in front of me, whatever's interesting. The last video I did was about the feminist reaction to that Nazi getting punched. The next video is going to be about that joke about fucking Barron Trump at that Saturday night.
Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on that one? Can you give us?
Honestly, and this will probably surprise you, I thought the joke was funny, and I don't see anything wrong with it.
No, it's funny. I had this reaction to it at the beginning, and it's quite eye-opening, because it shows you how easy it is to get on a bandwagon. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's disgusting. She shouldn't get away with that. And then, this is going to sound real bad. I'm quoting Milo too much. It's terrible. But he posted a thing on Facebook about it saying, he's basically going, look, guys, like, if we start overreacting to this kind of stuff now, like, we're just going to become what we hate, you know? And it did make me think. I was just like, oh, man, you know, there is a danger here that we just become the new language police and things like that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it was a fucking joke. I mean, and you know,
it was clearly meant to hurt, though. I mean, that's the thing, though.
Was
like, I think
was it though? I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was. It was a funny and ironic way of saying Trump is a cunt.
Well,
so if it was meant to hurt anyone,
not the children, though, Pierre.
Not
the children. Not the children. Well, yeah, I don't know. I've got people on all sides of this who just see it differently. I don't know. I've kind of come around to the same place as you, I think. But, yeah, I think, you know, I don't know if you saw the speech. Oh, was it Ashley Judd at the Women's March? Her speech was...
I saw something.
Insinuating...
Was she the one that was talking about her period?
Oh my God, weren't they all? One of the memes I saw was this woman holding up a sign. She said, "We're all here to sync up our periods," and I was like, "Could you not?" Like, we'd rather you didn't. It's like a freaking Transformers. Like,
here's a question for you: Have you had breakfast?
Feminists unite.
Have you had breakfast?
No.
Okay. Imagine, right, out of all the chicks on their periods at that march, for the duration of the march, how many Olympic-sized swimming pools full of blood do you reckon they
Oh my
Enjoy your breakfast.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I don't want to get it. You've done a whole video series on that. Was it weird period, dude? Yeah. Let's not even. Oh my gosh. Let's just not. People can search that up for themselves.
Yeah, he was fucked. He was just fucking something else. and the funniest bit was like how he did the. Did you see how he did the fucking? He did like a funeral type thing for the pad. Like he did a ceremony. He went out to sea or out on a lake and did this whole ceremony where he put the pad in a box and he tried to sink it and shit. That's fucking. That's something else. That's.
The other thing I saw you guys did a stream on it, I think, was the whole saga with, is it the Satirician? Is that how you say his name?
Satirician. Yeah,
Satirician with shoe on head.
That sort of came up on a live stream, but I did a video about that as well. That was a bit of a fucking shit show over nothing.
I thought that was fun. I'll be honest, I do like shoe on head. I think she's funny. You're not a fan?
Oh no, I'm a fan. We've had a couple of fucking bits of argy-bargy, me and Shu, but I mean, that's not to say that I don't like her or anything. I think she's a great content maker and she's a nice person. But I actually was on a podcast last week with Jeff Holiday and Andy Worski and Nightmare Fuel podcast, and Shu came in and we just fucking tore shreds off each other. Just fucking tore absolute shreds off each other.
So what sort of things were you saying?
I was basically saying you and Skeptic are just fucking arrogant cunts. Stop
Beer and calling someone else arrogant. That's.
I'm not arrogant. I'm fucking. What's the word?
You're Australian, is what you are.
Yeah. So,
oh, that's funny. It's funny. Yeah.
But I'm not arrogant as in like, you know, for example, you wouldn't catch Ahmed Skeptic here. You know, if you reached out and said, come on the podcast, he'd probably look at you and go, oh, who the fuck are you type thing. That to me is arrogance type thing, you know.
Isn't that just cultural though? Isn't that just Americans where they're just like, I don't know.
He's not American, he's Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian. Oh yeah, they're supposed to be the nice ones. Yeah, no, I think the whole video that Shu did was funny. I get, because the satirician one.
Oh yeah, look, it was funny. I think she sort of played it up a bit too much, but I'm not saying that she shouldn't have done it. I thought it was okay. The thing that troubled me was the fact that he got that fucking community guidelines strike. Yeah,
okay, because I wondered, because I was like, it sort of bothered me because I was trying to get my head around the conversation that you guys were having about it, and I was just like, is this just like, I didn't know if, I'm not language policing isn't the right word, but I was just like, Isn't this like? I was just like, are you guys not having a sense of humour here? Like, what's going on?
Well, I think because the Satiricician came on at one point, and I think he was very much like that. Like he was sort of, at one point he was trying to blame June for the fact that someone, presumably one of her subscribers had reported his video, and like I was very quick to say, no, you can't do that. Like. We're the first to argue against that.
Well, that's one of the things people come at you for, is saying, "Oh, you're responsible. Exactly. You're responsible for what people say."
Yeah.
And that's the thing with it. Like, nobody seems to believe in autonomy. Like, nobody seems to believe that people are responsible for their own actions. Like, you're not running a cult here. Like, it's people are free to say what they want. Like,
who do you think my audience is? Just this blubbering fucking bunch of dribbling spastics.
There's probably a fair number of them, but
it's half true.
But yeah, it sort of did bother me from what I gleaned, because I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, are we taking ourselves too seriously now? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, no. Look, my reason for having him on that live stream was because I did think it was pretty bad that he got that community guideline struck. Like, he's up to 2 now, so the fact that he got that meant that upload for 2.
It would have been more interesting to see them both. It would have been interesting to see them both dialogue together.
Yeah, it would have. I think we did invite June, but I'm not sure whether she was asleep or what the go was. But...
Yeah. Oh man, so what else has been going on? It's craziness.
What else, man? Just fucking same old.
You've made a couple of political. You don't do politics much, but I know, like with Trump, I know you've talked about it a couple of times, eh?
More in this. I haven't done any videos that have been like pro-Trump or anything like that, but more the reactions to Trump and the shockingly stupid reactions and biases against him, because he's a racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe type thing. It's more concentrating on the hypocrisy of that sort of shit than the actual bloke himself.
Yeah, no, it's it's pretty funny for me, because I've never really followed politics at all until now. Like, seeing his inauguration was like the first time I'd never even seen a presidential inauguration before. It's funny. This could be a good topic change, actually, because I noticed, it made me think of the whole atheist sort of thing especially in America. Like, when you watch the inauguration, there is a lot of like praying and Bible reading and stuff like that, and it made me a little bit.
Surprisingly, a lot of mentions of God in his speech.
Well, you realize, but that's the politics. I mean, that's America. Like, they are a quote unquote Christian nation. Like, whatever that means in 2017. But it did make me a little bit sympathetic towards atheists who live in America, because I noticed, because I've got atheist friends who live in America, and you start to realize when you talk to them that their frustration is way less at the idea. They don't really care if somebody believes in God. They don't give a shit, quite frankly. But you realize that, at least in America, from what I'm starting to gather, that it's more political. They feel marginalized because you've got this president getting sworn in on a Bible and everything, going, "Oh, we're all together. We're one country," and they're just going, "But we don't believe this." Like,
and I think they've still got crosses in every corner, haven't they?
Yeah. I think they took. They used to have the 10 Commandments, but I think they took those down. So it's slowly infiltrating, slowly just deconstructing everything. But that's the other thing as well, and that's what I've noticed as someone who grew up very religious as I did. This whole social justice warrior stuff, like it. I mean, it looks to me, it looks like a religion at this point. Like, I mean, especially you look at do you know the thing going on with Shia LaBeouf at the moment, the live stream?
No, tell me about that.
So he started on the day of inauguration. He kicked off outside this museum in New York. He kicked off a 4-year live stream where all people are. He's telling. I mean, if this isn't a cult at this point, I don't know what the hell is. But it's got on the wall. It's just written. It says, "He will not divide us." So these little millennials basically just walk up to the camera and just mindlessly start chanting, like, "He will not divide us. He will not divide us. He will," and it's like, what am I watching? Like, what the heck? But, by the way, yesterday he got arrested for punching someone. It's like day 5. This guy is like unhinged. Well, you didn't. I don't think you saw. Somebody did have a video clip of it happening, but it wasn't directly on the stream. But you could see him in the background on the live stream getting arrested. And this girl was like putting. It was so funny because they do the same at these protests where they try and block people with signs and everything. But you know, Shia LaBeouf's getting arrested in the background. This girl's got like a picture of a heart on her hand, and she's just like holding it up to the camera, like as if that's going to change reality. Like it's like nothing to see here, you know. It's pretty nuts, but yeah, it's you know, it's becoming this rigid ideology where it's like, you know, if you don't subscribe to the narrative and to their doctrines at this point, then you're a heretic, you're outcast. Like
doctrines that just make no fucking sense, no logical sense.
Yeah. So on a somewhat pragmatic level, maybe we'll just wind down a little bit, but I mean, how do we... I mean, I'm all for, like, let's just have fun and take the piss out of people, like, you know, whatever. I think that is important. But, like, in your opinion, like, because I know you've had different people on your stream that, you know, like, you've had a couple of feminists on your stream over the year, you know, year and a bit or whatever. I mean, is there hope for some of these people to actually engage with and actually get somewhere? Do you feel like you've had decent conversations with...
Yeah, I think there's always hope for anyone. I mean, yeah, of course there is. I mean, I rarely meet a person or come across a person who I just think you're fucked for life type thing. But I mean, even people with completely opposing views, I don't think that necessarily. You know, I might think they're a bit silly, but you know, doesn't mean they're not going to get through their life in a constructive and happy manner.
Yeah. So is there any other like issues or anything you've noticed cropping up, like anything else you're keen to tackle, like maybe that you haven't? Maybe I think it's time you do another religious video, by the way.
Religious video?
Yeah, mix it up, you know? We need mockery.
On what though? On Christianity?
I don't know, I'll try and find some ridiculous... There was I don't know if you saw... There was this video that went viral years ago. It was this cheesy... I think the video was just called, like, Cheesy Christian Dance. And it was this, like, cringe-worthy, like, middle-aged people, like, sincerely trying to do this, like, modern, like...
Oh, was it a rap type thing?
It was like a rap...
Yeah,
I can hear it in my head right now. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so can I.
Oh, it's incredible. But I'm sure there's stuff out there. I'll scour the web for you. I'll try and source something that you can dive into.
You know what might be interesting is I've never done a good rapture video. There'd be fucking heaps of crazies out there that are just hell bent on the rapture.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of not in that circle. I mean, I don't even. Yeah, I'm sure it's still out there, but it's not on my radar at this point. But
yeah. Like there's people out there. I've seen a few videos where you know there'll be like this fucking crazy bat of a woman in Southern America, and she's talking about the fucking the wheat in the field was blowing a certain way, and it was just a sign that Jesus is coming because she had a dream last night about wheat and food. It's just bizarre shit.
Have you seen that movie called Red State by any chance?
No.
Oh, you should check it out. It's Kevin Smith. It's basically a movie that's kind of...
Silent Bob.
What's that? Yeah. Kevin Smith, yeah.
Nice.
So it's kind of... It's basically what would happen if the Westboro Baptists, like, picked up guns. And so it's pretty much... it's kind of modelled off the Westboro Baptists. And
so do they kill the gays and all that shit?
In the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well basically they go fishing they basically catfish these young guys to go out and meet them. And it's this like middle-aged woman and she basically knocks them out with this, they drink this beer that's like laced or whatever. And it's freaking freaky, man. They wake up, they come to, the guy's in a cage in front of it, like at the front of a church. And there's a guy at the front just preaching. And he's just in there like an animal, and then it's just nuts. And
I've got to watch this. What was it called?
It's just called Red State.
Red State.
Red State. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions, but it's speaking of the Westboro Baptists, I noticed they were out protesting Trump as well, and I saw a post from someone going, You know the world's changed when you're on the same team as the Westboro Baptist.
Yeah, fuck this.
They're just media whores, though.
This Red State looks fucking interesting.
Yeah. Apparently it was a movie that he wanted to make for a while. He just didn't get around to it. But it came out a couple of years ago, I think. It's a thinker, eh?
Yeah.
It's but I mean, as someone, like I say, who grew up Christian myself, like, it made me think, because in the movie they're like quoting specific Bible verses and like trying to use them to justify violence and stuff, and you just go, holy crap, like you just.
Well, that's the thing with a lot of Bible verses. They can mean pretty well whatever you want them to mean.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing, because I know, like, Hunter made the video recently about Islam, which I watched most of it, I think, but I kind of get to a point where I'm just like, yeah, I get what you're saying here. But you can't, I mean, it's funny with religion, because, you've got atheists who kind of just go, oh, it's all rubbish, and they just write it all off anyway. But then you've got Christians who talk about their concerns of Islam, but then you just look at the Bible and just go, you could twist this, you don't have to do much manipulation to like justify anything with any kind of religious text. So it gets, but that's what's making me think as well. I was like, and it comes down to, your approach as well, being this like individualistic, like, let's take people at face value kind of thing. It's like, you can't, I mean, it's going to be interesting in America to watch, like, I think Trump's basically put an executive order out, like, banning immigration, as he's doing all the things he said he was going to do.
Yeah, good on him.
And people are. I saw a quote. It was on a talk show. Someone said, "At this point, the left are not scared that Trump's going to fail, but that he's going to succeed. Like, and actually do well. Like, they're not going to be out protesting when he gets them jobs and actually changes shit.
Well, you might be surprised, man. There's some fucking assholes out there. There really are. Like,
they just want to see the world burn.
I'd say after the election, it doesn't matter how well he does. They'll just keep trying to.
Oh, for sure. There's going to be people that fight him every step of the way. But it's pretty crazy. Sweet, man.
Well, I better shoot off.
Yeah, we'll wrap up here. Thanks for chatting. It's always fun.
No, thanks for having me, man. And until next time, all the best.
No worries. Sweet, dude.
See you, mate.
See you.